Greetings and welcome to Prosperous Universe episode 2. So before we get started, this game was provided for free by the developers. Now, straight into it. I placed the order for water at 86. The price of water was 86. I placed the order at 86. Over the night, the water prices have skyrocketed. They're currently holding at 100, but they did at some point hit 250. Yeah. So we need to keep an eye on the water prices. The thing is, water is something we use a lot, so we really should think about pinning that into an area for us. Okay, let's do that. Well, here would be a pretty good place. Give me a pin location there. Bloop, there we go. Put that there. Because water is something, it's our basic requirement is water, so we'll keep water there. Rations and drinking water are okay. If I actually look at our base... pin that somewhere. I've got a lot of things I would like to pin, but the screen would get way too busy. Okay, so our base is under BS, because why not? And then in here we've got our... I already did that. It's there. If we look at our sections, nope, that's where we destroy stuff. Construct population. Yeah, population. So, drinking water, we draw 4 units a day. We have 16 units in stock. We are good for a short while. Rations, we take 4 a day. We have 16 in stock. We are good for a short while. Pioneer clothing, we consume 0.5 a day. We have 2 in stock. We're good for a short while. And that is our only consumables right now. That we need to keep our workforce happy and alive. Which keep her being alive. Now, apparently the calculation for water and stuff is done per 100 people, so we're currently holding at the limit of 1 unit. So if we get more people in, consume more water and everything else. So that is useful to know. Right, so the community exchange orders are here. That water is expensive now, but we need the water to start producing more. Now we do have some carbon we managed to produce in the last episode, and we still have 12 days on the mistake for nutty something. Yes, not something, which we can do. But we also got our hydrocarbons completed. So if we could get our hydrocarbons processing in a new order, we can actually get the carbon produced and get some carbon out there. So we have 8. Now I can't do 5 units because it takes up 12. I can do 1 unit because it takes up 4. So with the 8 hydrocarbon, I can actually put the request in for 2 lots of 1. It's not as efficient as doing more, I'm guessing. That takes 5 days, 4 hours. That takes 1 day, 53 minutes. Okay, it's the same. There's no efficiency for doing it all in one go. But that one takes carbon maize. That one takes carbon grains. Yeah, so that we need to figure out actually what's the most useful. They take 4 of each to produce 2 of each. So their output is the same. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, let's order a queue of that item and a second lot of that item, as we do indeed have the resources to produce those 2 units. Good. Can we produce any more here? We have 4 water in stock. We want to producing, you. Put these side by side and let's have a bit of a look at these, right? So I'm hoping to get around to editing these to zoom in a little bit, because some people complained that the text was a bit too small. That's fine, I can completely understand that. Right, so hydrocarbon plants. Hydrocarbon plants, there we go. Now, to produce hydrocarbon plants, and let's do a straight 10, right? Because we can do, well, it takes 1 unit to do 1, but the 10 is a nice way of seeing what we'd actually consume. So we would need, for every 10 water, where's my map? There we go. For every 10 water, we would actually, to produce 10, we get 20 plants, 10 water. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio of the water to the end product produced. That's good to know. Right, so if we go and look at, so that was hydrocarbon plants. The next one is carbohydrate maize. So it would, for every 20, it's 40. So that is again a 2-to-1 ratio. So that's the same as doing the other one, but you can probably do it in a bigger batch. Okay, so let's have a calculation. Probably should do it Excel or something like this, but I haven't installed Office on this PC since the recent format. So calculations are going to be done in pen and paper, and mistakes will be made. Okay, so to make your go back to hydrocarbon plants, making 10 units. So there'll be 20 units produced, and it will take 4 days, 13 hours. Right. Then we want to go and make the hydrocarbon maize, carbohydrate maize, for the same production. 10 units. 2-to-1 ratio still, and it would be 40 units produced over 9 days, 2 hours. Okay, and then the final one on our list of things we can make is the grains. What's the difference between these two? I don't actually understand. What are you the grains? Grains, they're the same thing. GRN and they both produce GRN, but you take 30 units and you take 10 units. Why would anyone ever choose the other option? So you're a 1-to-4 ratio, much better. 9 days, 2 hours, and you produce 40 units. So you take the same amount of time, but you're fast. That's why you draw. Okay. You draw a hell of a lot more water, but you get done a day early. No one in the right mind will ever use that. But we now have the they're all 2-to-1 ratio, so they all use the same amount of water, apart from the rush one here. But the hydrocarbon plants produce in 4 days, and the others take 9 days, 2 hours. So but they do produce twice as much, which is good for us. So what you could do is set up a hydrocarbon plant growth and then set up a maize behind it. So you've got a quick piece of material and then some longer material coming out afterwards, and that's not a bad thing to do. Okay, so now we know that. There's not actually a benefit. There's no benefit either way, overall, of using one over the other. So we know that now. And so we just need to start making stuff. So let's get rid of you for now. Both you buffers. We have you think you'll be ready tomorrow, you'll be ready in a day after that. That's fine. I need to get the more supply up and running though. I should actually cancel the second one, because if we cancel the second one we can do a bigger order. Let's not. Let's leave it in place. We can just try and produce some smaller bits as we go. Get ourselves ramped up to a higher production. But we've got 2 carbon on stock though, so that's a starting point. Okay. For you, we do need the water, because we do need to start making water. Now, I could drop some hydrocarbon plants down here. We can't do that because we need another unit of water. So I'm going to have a look at the prices of water really quickly. Now, I'm going to delete this order, because quite frankly, it's not going to go well. It's not going to be supplied, is it? Okay, I have seen people complain about the price of carbon. So if we can start producing carbon at a lower cost, we can be okay. Now, I have to actually look into the pricings right now, because right now I don't know the pricings and what is beneficial and what not. So first to find that out, what is the cost of carbon? Right now the cost of carbon in our exchange, that's not where you find the cost of carbon. We don't actually have an exchange pin, do we? Let's pin an exchange in here. Can I have the exchange list, please? You would be under, I think it's you. Commodity exchange is, and our commodity exchange, because it's the one that's local to us. And can I pin that just there? Would be actually perfect, right underneath our orders. Alright, pin that up to there, because we won't have many orders in place at any one time, I don't believe. Now carbon would be under, would it be in construction materials? No, not really. It's not chemicals, but check it anyway. C for carbon, no. I was going to do a search on this, it'd be so much easier. Allies, ship parts, basic consumables. I don't think it'll be under there. It's not. Drinking water is though. Look, it's 119 right now for drinking water. Gases, fluids, electric components, metals, minerals. Carbon should be a mineral, right? No. It's not an ore, is it? It's not classed as an ore. It's not classed as an ore. Where would you be hiding this thing, really? Plastic, software, textiles, minerals, metals. It's not a metal, but I won't put it past someone to put it under metal. Nope. Good. I would have been kind of annoyed if it was. What do you flag yourself as? Carbon. Elements. Thank you. You're an element. Can I under E for elements? Element! I did not see that one at all. Alright, carbon. Whoa! Carbon's expensive. Yeah. Carbon is wow. It's 1,000 per unit. Okay. I was not expecting carbon to be that price. I have to admit that. Can I have the info, please? Carbon. Yeah, that's something we need to be keeping an eye on, really. Carbon prices. Where would be a good place to put carbon prices? I don't need this tutorial screen here. So I'm going to add a menu directly below it and transfer that into there. And because then I can bring this down as I need it. There we go. And I'm going to drag you into there. Just to keep an eye on the carbon prices overall. There we go. So we have the carbon. Wow, the carbon price is expensive. I was not expecting it to be that high. Okay, now I think it's going to come down. Current prices are 1,000. It's come down already by 400 from above. So, and it's at the all-time low right now. So that's going to happen. All right. So what we could do is we could actually sell our 2 carbon right now, couldn't we? Okay, carbon orders. How do I do a sale? List exchanges, own orders, exchange info, price charts, place order, place an order. I would like to sell my 2 units, and you know what? Because it's worth 1,000 right now, let's sell it for 900. Ooh, 900. And 50. You know, let's just sell a little bit straight outright. Boom. And it immediately goes away from our stock exchange. We've made some cash. Our sale has been completed. That is good for us. And we see there, materials sold, 2,000 credits worth. Now I could have sold it at 1,000, but I think the prices are a little bit high right now, and that's going to help bring them down a little bit, hopefully. Right. Okay. So that being said, we're making more carbon there. That's going to be in a few thousand. And we just made 2,000, so we can buy water. And we need... Water's our only need right now for supply. So let's buy in some water. Let's delete that job. We don't need that there. Let's buy ourselves in some water. Basically it's under fluids. No, that's fuels. Under fluids. And the price of water itself is 100. Now, here's a question. Are there any better prices around? Can I... Oh, we've got communications. Hello, comms. Global chat has been talking. That's a bit here. I've been looking at that anyway. And the global site owners 5 hours ago. Okay, so people are just talking about the prices. That's fine. Ooh, apparently I didn't click on that one. There you go. Right, so. Ooh, that's nice. That's a profit margin of 2,000. Let's go buy some water now. First of all, let's have a look at our exchange list. Now, we're on this one here. Now, we know the price here is 100. Now, what might be a good idea is if they all sell water at decent prices, we could stack them in a little grid here just to show us. I don't need this information. I just need to know the current price. So, I'm just going to what is that? Order book, price chart, exchange info. Okay, I don't care about that. So let's look at commodity exchange number 3 for fluids. Fluids. You are selling water. There's 0 supply right now, so and there is 40. So look at the orders there. The independence group is wanting to buy 40, but no one is actually making it. Now, can we make our own water? Because we can sell it to the markets. The hotel. Again, someone buying, but no one selling. Water exchange. Okay, there's a supply there, and it's 95 units. It's not worth it because it's only worth 100 here, and we'd have to send a ship out there to bring it back. So that's not actually worth it. Although somebody is producing quite a large amount. And here, fluids. It's at asking about is 95. Again, it's not worth sending it out. Price change is 75. Can I have the info, please? Oh, so that 75 is the current asking price. Okay. So it's currently going for 75. There's 55 units worth there. You have the fluids at 95. You have the fluids not available, no one's selling. And you have the fluids at 25, but there's no supply. Right. That is a problem. So far, the only place that really sells it is either the Proxima place, who's selling at 75, but they only have 55 worth, so it's not really worth going out there. I mean, if we were to put an order, a lot of people putting requests in here. Look, those requests there. Mostly going for 100, so these are not picking up. That's good to know. We could run in there and grab some stuff, but at that price, 55 at 70 is. Yeah. Put you over there for a moment. Keep an eye on that price. We might have sent a ship to you, just have a look. Where are you, though? I need to know your... I need to know... Not you. I need to know the location of this planet. So, fleet, inventory, system map, please. Right, so you're there, so you're not in our system. That's good to know. You have no projects in progress. So where are you? You are... Name is Planet Proxima. And on the map, that would put you where? Let's search this thing. No. Okay. Can I have the proper map? I want to rotate. There we go. Right. Routes, random STL traffic, FTL traffic. No one's traveling right now anyway. Oop, no. So people are moving over here. And there's some FTL traffic over there. Okay. What's the here then? Your Horus, your hotel. You are Neb, and you would be Mop. Where are you based, Planet? Your trading currency is ACA, ICA. We don't have any IC currency anyway. There's an exchange rate to that. It's confusing, basically. Yeah, so I think we're not going to bother dealing with that because I don't even know where you are. You're in Horus. So you're there. So we would after FTL from here to get to there. So to get to there, we'd have to go boop. Yeah, that's not worth the travel time. To get there, get the water and come back. So we can just place the order for our local exchange at 100. We have $2,000 spare to buy out with. I don't want to go above that just yet. So let's go and place an order, shall we? You can go away now. Thank you. Let's go place ourselves a very nice order. So I need to place an order. The price is currently 100, so I will buy it. The price is currently 100, so I will buy at 100. And I'm going to place an order. If I were to buy 100, it would cost $10,000, which is obviously 10 buying 100. I want to make sure we're not paying too much more, so I want to see what's in the order book right now. There's a supply coming in at 250. Let's see if we can get this 100 though. Field requirement. So we want to spend $2,000, so we can get 20 water in quite easily. We'll buy that up now. I have a feeling that didn't click it. Click it. There we go. Order's been placed, and I'm going to put another one in for 150. Again for 20. Right. So I placed some higher value water right now. We're just waiting to see if we can get the sales. If we can get both sales, I'll be happy to get 40 water right now. But our limit right now, and we have this person here is holding 20 at 250, and I do kind of need that water right now to start a production run. So I feel we're going to have to pay Event Horizon's prices. So yeah, okay, we kind of have to, I think, at this point. Place the order. I cancel the one. I cancel the 150. And we'll just place in a 250 price for 20 units. Local store. Buy. There we go. We've now received that with $5,000 worth of water. It's expensive, but the hope is that we can, with that 20, we can make some good profits. I really should have looked at stuff beforehand. Yes. But get through to the one we bought. Right, so we spent $5,000 on water. Right. Now we need to make more than $5,000 up. So let's look at our production chain. So the incinerator just turns each plant into carbon. It's literally a 2-to-1 ratio. right? So every two, then we can produce one of them, and even up to here it stays the same. 36, 18. Okay. Oh, we can do, and we can do middle ones as well. Ah, but other than that, I'd have done that to 4 units worth. Anyway, in that case, so that's yeah, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Pretty much no matter which one you pick, unless you want to go for the, you know, they're all the same thing. They're all 2-to-1 ratios. At that end, here's where the cost comes in, because we can do so. For here, we just have to look at. Let's look at hydrocarbon plants. For example, we can make so for every 1 water we produce 2 plants, which means for every 1 water we produce 1 carbon overall. If we jump straight to 10 here, it'll take 4 days to produce, but we'll have the stuff available to us. The problem is we won't have access to it immediately, so it would be worth doing some smaller stuff. Now we've got roughly 2 days before we can do anything. So let's just do 2 days worth of production. 2 days, 7 hours. You know what? 2 days, 7 hours. We can produce 5. Queue that up. Start production now. That'll be finished as they finish. Then, I didn't mean to do that. Then we can set up another production for the rest of our stuff. So we have figured out there's not really benefit to doing everything to 2-to-1 ratio. So, than that. So here, if we say make me 10, that'll take 10 water and we get 120. No, not fatty nuts. Hydrocarbon plants. That'll take 10 water, produce 20 plants. But if we were to switch that over to maize, 20 water, 40 plants. Because reasons of annoyingness. Yeah, so if we go, that'll take us down to 9. There we go, that's 18. That will produce 36 units, so that actually produces more but uses more water, which we know. We did the calculation earlier, it doesn't ever change. 10 to 40 on that one. Oh, 10 to 40 on that one? Takes 9 days. 20 to 40 takes 9 days. 30 to 40, okay. I think that's a glitch, but that should have been... Okay. And the hydrocarbon plants are 10 to 20. So what I'm hearing here is we should be building with you 10 water equals 40 carbohydrate grains, which the incinerator can take. Right? GRN, yes. Let's do that. Let's do the almost entire supply of water. We have 19 water. 15, that'll take 13 days to complete. Alright. So if we do... This is 1 production run, so when that one completes in 12 days, we get that one okay. So that's going to be good. That'll complete in 2 days. So let's do a smaller batch of hydrocarbon plants using 5 water. That'll give us an extra 2 days. Queue that up. There we go. So that'll be 4 days worth of production. And then immediately after that starts, get in here with this one. Now we want to get the maximum production. We would not have. No, the problem is that it doesn't update the supply that you have available. I think we still have 19 water available to us, which we won't have because we'll use up. What did I put that down to? We're producing 10 units. We use 10 water, so that'll leave us with 9 water available. So if we produce you to use 9 water, it'll take 7 days, but we'll get 32 grains out of it. Boom, there we go. And that should be good. So hopefully, I wish we'd cancel that order though. It'd be so much more useful if we get rid of that and just go. Destroy the stuff, we don't need it. But no, it's growing now and we have to deal with it. Okay, so we now have the nuts are still growing for 12 more days. The hydrocarbon plants are growing for 2 more days. We have carbon itself ready tomorrow and another carbon afterwards. We would have the more hydrocarbons being produced for 2 days after that. So that's going to be okay, yeah, that's good. Then 7 days worth for here. So hopefully at some point we can get these 2 changed. One working on long-term stuff and one working on short-term stuff. That's our kind of our goal at the end of this. Alright, let's see, we've got all that done. We got that done. We got the water order placed. No one's going to actually see the order because, quite frankly, who's going to I mean, what is actually selling right now? 250. It's gone because we bought that water. Somebody had to buy it and needs to start production. But wow, price of water right now. Look at the order book. People have orders in place, but there's just no supply. Okay. We're probably still making a profit, even though we spent a lot of money. Good to know. I think it's because we have these things in order. So we're pretty good on this overhaul. I do need to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to place in an extra order into the system for more water. I'm going to place it at around 150. Place an order. I would like. Oh, right. What did that say it was for? I would like to buy 20 units of water at 150. Put that in as a buy order. So now we've got our 100 and our 150. We have 2 sets of water purchases set up. So as soon as someone starts to sell, we can buy that immediately, and we can get our stock up. Now that will be, if I remember rightly, that's gonna be 2 grand. That'll be about 3 grand. Yeah, 3 grand. So that is good because it means it's off our bottom line already. I mean, I've had it sort of takes it off your balance immediately, so you don't have to worry about trying to budget for it. So hopefully we'll get 40 water and we can then put it all into a nice big production run. But we'll find out if we can actually sell that, buy that water anyway. Now I need to figure out, can we make our own water? Because water is literally the problem right now. Is we can't produce carbon without the water. And then that is our biggest issue. Okay, well we'll find out. I'm going to look into manufacturing. Can we? We probably can't do it just yet with the lack of cash. But 2 carbon have been produced at your base. Yeah, it was. It's an economic program. Education of pioneers. Okay, good to know. Programs and vote. Command. Education events. Liquidation. I'm guessing these are companies that went bust. Boost the planet-wide production output of all pioneers by 10% for a week through an event named Safety First is our motto. Sure. And that one was on yesterday. And okay, if we can keep an eye on these things then at some point. Good to know. Let's see, 2 had been producing a plant there. Have indeed. Get rid of that. Ooh. Nice, you can see actual production right now, rather than a little grid. I kind of like that grid though. So it can stay there. Let's see. Welcome to the Apex. You're connected. Blah 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 blah. And 2 units of carbon have been produced. They have. Perfect. All right. So we are now we are running really well right now. You are my production lines. That's that screen, which doesn't really help me in any way. And you are the base, which again doesn't really help me anyway. Okay, so what we've got right now is a pretty stable economy. We're buying water at right now at 250. We use 1 water to produce 1 carbon on average on the faster production chains, which means that we're making a crap ton of profits on that. But we do need supply of water, and water supply is right now a risk. So because of that, I want to bring the carbon prices down, because I know that other industries like the metallurgy, yes, are having trouble producing because they can't afford the price of the carbon. If we can bring the price of carbon down, that's great, but to do that, we need to start producing carbon. The problem is, although the water price isn't bad, I mean it's expensive at 250, but it's not the worst. I mean it was at 80 at one point, but I mean it's still, still very profitable for this. We could actually bring this down to 500 and still be making 100% profit right now. Obviously, I'm not factoring in any staff wages and stuff at the moment because I'm not sure how they are calculated, but you get the idea. Our only cost is water right now. I mean, obviously, we'll need to supply them with drinking water and rations and stuff later on, which we'll factor in that as soon as we can. But the biggest cost we have will be the water price on manufacturing. It's at 250. It's expensive, but it's not too expensive for the current market. The problem is there's no supply. So yeah, I mean traded volume, bid amounts, ask. There's just no supply in the market right now. Look at the orders, list of exchanges, order book. Yeah, there's just no supply. So we need to either make our own supply, which would be great if we could just supply water that could be something we could do as well. But we'll figure that out. So until next time, when I try to figure out if we can supply our own water and actually sell water to the industry, let me know what you think of the game so far. It's a bit complicated, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing with all the numbers and screens and stuff. And this is actually giving me some UI design ideas as well for other stuff I'm working on. So yeah, very nice. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun, and until next time, see you later. Bye!